With the 5th episode of Digimon Ghost Game, we have officially been introduced to all 3 of the main Digimon partners of this season, Gamamon, Angoramon, and now Kyoshiro's partner Jellymon. I'm personally of the opinion that the last truly great partner Digimon design was Gaomon all the way back in 2006's Digimon Data Squad. Shoutmon is good, Gachmon is good, Mekomon is fine, Harrismon and Pulsemon are okay, so this would make the Ghost Game Digimon partners the best partner designs in 15 years. But the question is, which of these new 3 is the best? Episode 5 gave me my answer, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of arguments for each nominee in the comments of this episode review. So welcome to the Digino's review of Digimon Ghost Game Episode 5. Every week we talk about these episodes and other Digimon topics, so if that sounds like a good time, definitely subscribe. YouTube is pretty good about showing you stuff you want to watch even if you're not subbed, but the algorithm, it changes all the time, so a good old-fashioned subscribe is always safe. Also, I was crunching the numbers, doing some projections, and it's very possible this channel could reach 20,000 subscribers before December 31st. 2021, but only if we get like 1,500 new subscribers a month rather than the average 1,000 I get. So on this video, if you're subscribing for the first time, comment below saying something like you're a first-time subscriber or you just subscribed, and I will vow to reply and thank everyone personally. That's the deal. So episode 5 hit, and cutting right to the chase, it blew me away with the sheer scale of the enemy and threat this week. This was feeling like a world-ending threat that should occur way later than episode 5. I love how when Hiro saw the gigantic dragon Digimon Majiromon, his first reaction was to say, I didn't know there were Digimon that could be this big. It shows the wonder and purity of this kid that he didn't just panic. Even though this thing is a threat, he's just in awe of the sheer wonder of it. And although Majiromon and its team were technically the opposing force this week, actually our mischievous Digimon of the week, playing a bit of the villain role, was actually none other than Jellymon, who has been pranking and haunting Kyoshiro for potentially weeks at this point. We suspected this dynamic was coming, but seeing it play out was so great, especially with Jellymon demanding others use the Jellymon-sama title, which is like Lord Jellymon for anyone who doesn't know. She reveals herself with this horrifying plan where she caused one of Hiro's spare Digivices to levitate in Kiyoshiro's room and writes, "Put this on the roof," in what he believes is blood. When he does put it on, he can finally see her, and her introduction animation was really terrific. They spared no expenses on this sequence, it feels. I love that Jellymon has 2 forms, seemingly. One where she pulls her face, legs, arms, and torso kind of into the jellyfish-style bulb and can float around full jellyfish mode. We come to learn precisely why Kyoshiro is being haunted and bullied by Jellymon, and it's a pretty amazing reason. It's not that he's like a gifted ghost whisperer or a chosen child or anything. She basically just thinks he's a huge nerd, big weeb, and one of the most easily scared humans she's ever encountered, so his reactions just make it really fun for her. She outs him as being this incredibly smart kid who was studying in America and had his master's, all that boy genius stuff, but he actually decided to move back to Japan, not for family or anything, but because he watches a ton of high school anime and wants to live out his anime-inspired fantasy of being this cool dorm leader and senpai. He is hugely embarrassed by this, but I thought it was super great. I mean, technically, there's nothing wrong with him returning to Japan because he wanted a traditional high school teenage experience, but the fact she makes it about being a huge weeb and he can't deny it is just gold. All throughout the episode, we've been seeing point-of-sale systems and other monetary systems like banks acting up, very our War Game style, of course, and at this point in the episode, this massive holy dragon Digimon appears, the envoy of the god of wealth, Majiromon. He's also backed by Quetzalmon, Bitmon, and Goatmon, and is here to put an end to whatever is causing these disruptions to the flow of money in Japan. Majiromon's duty is to wealth to properly preserve the flow of money. Anyone who stops or disrupts that will not be forgiven. A powerful light will gather in the sky, and 108 arrows of light will rain down on that person's body, and that person is unfortunately going to be Kyoshiro. It turns out when the normal talismans he used to deter ghosts in the past didn't work on the spirit he senses that we now know as Jellymon, he created a program of digital talismans that Jellymon actually messed with to hack the digital money management systems. Now, the rationale for why she did this wasn't super clearly stated from what I can remember, but I can forgive it. It's not like a vital plot point, and we've established that Jellymon loves messing with this dude and is a bit of a troll. Angoramon and Rudy show up around this time, which gives us a great shot of Angoramon flying helicopter style with its ears while carrying her. Super cute, and reminding us that Angoramon is still a serious candidate for best new Digimon, even despite how exceptional Gamamon and Jellymon are. Hito and Rudy's Digimon go off to try to fight Majiromon's team and keep them away from harming Kyoshiro, while he works on manually deleting the digital talismans one by one before the 108 arrows of light rain down. Jellymon asks him why he won't just bail and run away a few times. He says things like he can't do that because he's the dorm leader. What I can already tell is going to be great with Kyoshiro is that because they wrote into his character that he's a sucker for cliche, cheesy anime drama, whenever he does or says something something that's kind of cliche, it'll be super easy to forgive because it's a part of his character that he's basically pretending to be an anime protagonist. Jellymon is a little inspired by Kiyoshiro refusing to retreat, and the two of them start hacking together while the others fight on the front lines. Not sure how this Digimon learned to type, much less code, but I do not care. This is great visually and story-wise. Gamamon and the others can't hold off Majiramon, and when he approaches, Kiyoshiro and Jellymon get some serious whiplash. They're seemingly knocked out or losing consciousness when Jellymon says, "You don't have the time to pass out, you're the dorm leader." Kiyoshiro is reminded of his responsibility to his dorm, and again, very anime cliche, but it totally works because they establish that this is how he would act as an anime watcher. He has this very cool guy standoff, refusing to back down, declaring he is the dorm leader. Very, very Joe Senpai from Digimon Adventure 2020, and the art is looking great here. He's able to reach a new level of connection with Jellymon, which activates BB Thunder, a cannon-based attack that's able to fast-track the destruction of those digital talismans. It returns things to normal, which appeases Majiramon. Kiyoshiro apologized to the Dragon Digimon on his hands and knees, saying he's responsible, he's sorry, and he vows to never do it again. The dragon accepts the apology, things return to the way they are, and the episode wraps with the gang catching their breath in a park, and we have what, to the best of our knowledge, is going to be the core trio of Digimon and human partners for this season. Jellymon whispers or thinks to herself, "My darling," at the very last shot of the episode, so I'm gonna need to know what that was about. Let me know if you think that was some kind of crush on Kiyoshiro developing, or was it more like a protective, "This is my precious son and I will henceforth protect him" kind of thing, like the way we all feel about Gamamon. But yeah, I am totally in love with both the human cast of this show and their personalities, but also in love with the new Digimon. Their designs and also their personalities have been really excellent. All three impressed when they were initially revealed as visuals, but each week in the anime we meet a new one. When we get a chance to hear their voice, see their body language, and learn their feelings towards their partner, they all become irresistible. They really are elevated by the show. The title of this video probably makes it sound like Jellymon is the best new Digimon partner in 15 years, according to me at least. It's a really tough call because Gamamon is so excellent. Maybe it's recency bias, but based on her devilish persona and the fact that you could argue she was introduced as a villain this week since she caused the money system disruption, plus the great way they draw and animate this Digimon's movement, like switching to and from that jellyfish only form, I'm gonna proclaim Jellymon is my current favorite of the new 3 Digimon, which would also make Jellymon the best new partner Digimon design since 2006. That's where I'll end this week's review. I thought it was another fantastic episode of Ghost Game, better than episode 4 in my opinion, and either right up there with episodes 1 and 2, or maybe a tiny bit lower, but all in all still in the extremely good category. Just a fantastic show. I'm so looking forward to seeing the next few weeks now that we have the assembled team. And one last The Digino PSA for you all before we wrap this video. Every week at least one person comments on the background music I use, and I realized at this point there are 6 tracks I've been using since 2020, so I put them all together into a single video, added some reverb, slowed them down a bit, and made a playlist called Lo-Fi Digi-Radio Beats to Digivolve 2, kind of like a parody or just like a joke. Well, not even a joke, it's kind of serious. A version of one of those kind of study playlists you'll see on YouTube all the time when an anime kid is writing, it's raining outside. I put that up on my second channel, and by the way, I have a second channel in case you didn't know. So do me a favor and check out that video, put it on in the background for like 10 minutes or something, because I'm actually trying really hard to get the second channel to 4,000 watch hours. That is what you need to be eligible for the partner program on YouTube. But yeah, those tracks are great, and they're all royalty free and cleared by YouTube. So honestly, if you're thinking of starting up a YouTube channel, or you're working on a video project for school or something, and you like one of the songs you hear in my videos, honestly, you can go ahead and use those tracks. They're royalty free and I don't own them. So yeah, check out the video, subscribe to the Digino02 as well if you can, because that's where I put out my more experimental videos like the lo-fi playlist. And knock on wood, if anything ever happens to this channel, like it gets copyright banned or something, the Digino2 is where I'll go to upload and to update you on like all the situations. Enjoy the lo-fi playlist, watch for at least 10 minutes in the background if you can. Thank you so much for tuning in to my episode 5 review. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.